America was under attack, but there were no sirens. No bombs falling from the sky. The invasion was silent. Banks collapsed overnight. Billions drained from accounts in a matter of hours, and no one could explain how. Investigators searched for signs of war, but what they found was worse. It wasn't soldiers, it wasn't weapons. It was a virus, a piece of code so advanced. It spread like wildfire through millions of computers, harvesting passwords, intercepting secrets, breaking through walls that were once thought unbreakable. The FBI called it the most sophisticated cyber attack they had ever seen, and yet no one knew who was behind it. For years, the world's most powerful agencies chased a ghost, a hacker who lived like smoke. Every time they got close, he vanished. Some believed he worked with organized crime. Others feared he was protected by the Russian state itself. One thing was certain, this man had brought America to its knees, without ever leaving his chair. And when the veil was finally lifted, a name emerged: Evgeny Mikhailovich Bogachev, known across the dark web as Slavik, and in older corners of the internet as Lucky 12345, the man who rewrote the rules of cyber warfare. The story begins in the early 2000s. The internet was changing. No longer just information, but opportunity. And in post-Soviet Russia, opportunity meant survival. The collapse of the USSR left behind a generation of brilliant, restless programmers. They knew computers better than anyone, and trusted the system less than everyone. Among them was a quiet man from the Black Sea town of Anapa, Evgeny Bogachev. To neighbors, he seemed ordinary. He kept to himself, polite, mild-mannered. But behind a computer screen, he became someone else, someone feared. He didn't chase fame like many hackers. He chased silence. While others bragged on forums, Bogachev vanished for months, building something the FBI would one day call the perfect machine. Online, he was Slavik, and soon he would create the code that changed everything. In 2007, a strange new virus began to circulate, hidden inside phishing emails and fake invoices. A single click was enough to open the door. Once inside, it waited, quiet, invisible. It recorded keystrokes. It captured logins. It siphoned away secrets. Its name was Zeus. Zeus didn't crash computers. It owned them. It could hide inside legitimate processes, communicate silently with its creator, and evade almost every antivirus program of its time. A few lines of code, but they formed a digital fault line. And as it spread, the tremors began. A payroll company in New Jersey suddenly bankrupt. A bank in Ohio freezing its accounts. The shaking had begun and no one saw the epicenter. Slavik wasn't stealing for thrill or fame. He was designing a system. Zeus became a product he licensed to others. A full criminal ecosystem hidden behind a keyboard. He wasn't breaking the rules of cyberspace. He was rewriting its architecture. He had built a machine that could print money in silence. And the world had no idea what had just been born. The storm was coming. When the storm arrived, it didn't roar, it whispered. By 2009, Zeus had infected computers in nearly every country on Earth. Banks, corporations, even U.S. government offices. According to the U.S. Department of Justice indictment unsealed, in June 2014, Zeus and its variants stole more than $100 million directly from banks and businesses. Cybersecurity analysts later warned the total impact likely reached several times that figure once laundering and resale were counted. But the fear was worse than the numbers. People stopped trusting their own screens. ATM users hovered a hand above the keypad, terrified of a single press. The feeling of safety had been digitized, then shattered. And still, Slavik evolved his creation. He released new versions like updates, each smarter, cleaner, deadlier. One became known as Jabber Zeus. It allowed thieves to coordinate in real time through instant messaging. Picture it, a bank clerk in London authorizes a transaction. Across the world, a criminal watches the same session unfold, seizing control, draining funds, covering tracks. The clerk continues typing, unaware the money is gone. To the FBI and Europol, this was no longer a virus. It was a corporation, a global syndicate run on code. And its CEO was Slavik. But even as investigators caught his digital scent, he was already writing his next evolution, a version that couldn't be shut down. Game over, Zeus. By 2011, Zeus had evolved into something unkillable. Game over Zeus was peer-to-peer, a living network of infected machines that talked to each other. No central server, no weak point. Take one down, and the others resurrected themselves. For law enforcement, it was a nightmare, and it didn't stop at theft. Through Game Over, Zeus came a new horror, crypto locker. Ransomware that locked entire computers and demanded Bitcoin to release them. According to the FBI's 2014 indictment, game over Zeus and CryptoLocker together infected over 1 million computers worldwide, causing losses of hundreds of millions of dollars. Every alias traced back to one man, Slavik, Lucky 12345, Evgeny Bogachev, but he was untouchable. Investigators noticed the code never attacked Russian computers. It simply skipped them like an invisible border. The message was clear: as long as he didn't harm Russian interests, he was safe. The FBI, Europol, and dozens of agencies united for Operation Tovar, a global mission to dismantle his empire. For weeks they mapped his botnet, waiting for the perfect moment. Then in June 2014 they struck. Thousands of infected computers were rerouted. CryptoLocker's servers were seized, and the botnet collapsed. Billions in future losses were prevented. The headlines called it victory, but Slavik was already gone. His accounts erased, his servers wiped clean. Some say he was tipped off. Others whisper that someone powerful wanted him to stay free. After Operation Tovar, the noise faded. The malware was gone, but its master had disappeared into the Black Sea haze. In December 2014, the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed his indictment. Soon after, the FBI placed him on its most wanted cyber criminals list, offering a $3 million reward, one of the highest ever for a hacker. His photo spread worldwide. A pale man, early 30s, faint smile. He looked harmless, but behind that expression was the architect of digital chaos. He never fled. He didn't need to. In Anapa, neighbors saw him driving a white Land Rover, sometimes a yacht sliding across the Black Sea horizon. According to investigations by the Wall Street Journal and Krebs on Security, Bogachev owned multiple properties and millions in cryptocurrency, and no one touched him. Then analysts noticed something new. Old Zeus servers flickered back to life. But instead of stealing money, they were collecting information. A U.S. Treasury OFAC report in 2016 stated that Bogachev's network had been used to gather data from Ukrainian and European government systems in support of Russian security interests. It was no longer about profit. It was about power. Perhaps that was the arrangement. Freedom for loyalty, silence for service. And so the world's most wanted hacker lived quietly by the sea, untouchable, unrepentant, and free. Today, his name is a whisper. Evgeny Mikhailovich Bogachev, to some a thief, to others the first soldier in a new kind of war. He never fired a weapon, never crossed a border, yet his reach extended further than most armies. The FBI still lists him among the most wanted men on Earth. His bounty, $3 million, remains unclaimed, and his creation, the Zeus Trojan, never truly died. Its fragments live on, mutated, reborn under new names, each carrying a trace of the original infection. Zeus outlived its master. It became a warning, a reminder that in the digital age, a single person can wield the power of a nation. He was never captured, never tried, never punished, just a ghost, sailing somewhere along the Black Sea, watching the world he once broke. But the war he started didn't end with him. It only changed form. Because for every hacker who learns how to break the system, someone else is learning how to rebuild it.